know when you see that it's good to go.
Oh my God, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing!
You know, I think that in terms of intensity, though, on D, you know, when you're coming down on the pole, I think DC again. I think that's where they have that
Thursday.
Eddie.
Yeah, they named him Jake. This is DC on the opening attack. They
Starting
play
off
it to
right
the near
away
side.
with a lot of undercuts, right? Being conservative.
That was Gordon. Now it's thrown back. Nice chase. Don't have a 99 on my DC current
Pollock,
roster.
how can you lose track of him? He's just unbelievable.
There's a toss to the near
They
side.
made that look easy.
Score.
Calvin Ong,
Yep.
right from Pollock. They really made that look easy. And it looks like they had a concerted effort to be patient and take what the defense gave them, and they did. Nice play.
Yeah, smoothly down the field for the first goal, and there you go. The DC Current with a 1-0 lead. Pollock was a little bit banged up, right? And he's come back.
He's got a hamstring issue, if I remember correctly, and you know, that's not good for anybody. Well, I keep saying not good for anybody. That's not good for DC. I guess it's good for New York, but he looked okay there when he had to stretch it out, so hopefully he stays well. But last time New York DC played, he actually left the game in the second half, so let's hope he can, you know, weather the whole storm here and play this whole game.
So the pull. These are two teams that certainly very familiar with each other. And we're going to get the pull here from right to left by the New York Rumble, and a chance to see that DC Current offense as that disc floats out. Using the time clock today. They're keeping the time on the field from what I understand.
Yeah, unfortunately that press box up there has some damage to the back of it and could fall down, so they had to shut it down. Ooh, that was a
great
dangerous
catch.
Throw in there. Schaffner throws it down deep.
And it's going to float. It's caught beautifully.
That was, yeah, it's Calvin Ong. So I was at the game yesterday. I could tell you that Schaffner and Ong played the whole game. So did Wodach, and they looked like they were unstoppable on the field. So I think the Schaffner to Wodach, Schaffner to Ong connection, we're going to see it tried over and over all night. And there you can see the throw goes up there again, and Ong makes it look easy. I mean, the New York defender had no chance.
Calvin Ong with his second goal, and it's 3-1 DC. Folks really getting into it down below. Very impressed with the crowd here today for this playoff-like atmosphere. This last regular season game here in the MLU.
Yeah, it keeps filling in here, man. There's a lot of people here.
Absolutely.
And we're stuck in the middle of them, so we've got to hope this crowd stays happy.
Now the pull floating out of bounds. This time by the DC Current. So the Rumble will get very good field position to start this foray downfield.
And there we got the star Mazer, right, who has every throw in the book. And, you know, we've seen do some really, really great things. We've seen him have a few flubs late in the game, but I don't think we're going to see that today. I think he's going to play real well.
Alade is out there on the field for the Rumble, player to watch. He has certainly had some brilliant moments.
Ooh,
This is
big
Mazur.
throw deep into a big crowd.
That's up for grabs. That's a sensational catch. Sandwiched in between defenders. How did Lee bring that down? A nice soft touch and the score of Mowitz.
You see that? Okay, so I'd like to see that replay, please. I mean, I got to say from a coaching point of view, that throw just didn't look smart at all. But Faust, I think you could kind of tell. I was looking at his face while he was running it down. He didn't look like he thought he was going to miss that for a second. So that was quite the exciting catch.
That was unbelievable.
And last time we saw DC and the Rumble, Faust wasn't there, and he's a tall guy. And here's that replay. Look at it. I mean, it's just not out far enough for this to be an easy catch, and it's in a whole crowd. And boy, oh boy, concentration when he knew he was going to get hit by two guys, fantastic. And then he makes this nice little.
Again, the pull out of play. Doesn't feel like the wind would affect that pull the way it has in the last 3 in a row that have gone out of play.
Well, I think they wanted to do that on purpose. I think they wanted to roll it out and see if they can make him throw a tough throw like that, which they did.
Keegan with a great catch to keep it alive
Wow.
for DC. They come to another skidding catch on the far side by Wodak. So the Current doing a nice job.
Yeah. And now you have Kolek who can do anything he wants with the disc, and we'll see if somebody makes a good cut for him.
Well, they play it up. Wong, Kolek to control. Schaffner looking. And wide open. Nice look, nice throw, nice catch, and Wodak in the receiving end.
That was textbook, right? So a big thing in Ultimate Frisbee, right, is to get the disc swung around to the field so you can attack from a different position. They get the dump back to Ong, and if you looked at it, he had the entire field to throw a break to, and Wodak wasn't even covered. You see it right here. Lays it out there. Any player could have gotten it. Boy, was that beautiful. I'll tell you what, if the Rumble don't make it harder than this, they're not going to be able to stay in the game. That was too easy.
So DC on top by the score of 4-2. Probably about, midway through this opening quarter, I'm guessing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't located that score, that timer. They put it somewhere down that field. I'd say we're midway through. We'll find out. We'll get a runner to keep us tracked on time. And I'm sure the crowd will start yelling when the 1 minute gets here.
So now it's the Rumble's chance. They're down by a couple of goals. Would you call this a keep possession right here for the Rumble? The way things are going here. They're going for it all. And nicely led and hit for the score for the Rumble. Ben Faust. Faust starting to have a big game early on here.
Actually, that's Robbie Gillis,
Oh,
and
is
I
that
would
Gillis?
say now I'll answer. Yeah, sure, it's a key possession.
Absolutely. I'm having trouble reading those numbers on New Jersey there a little bit.
I know. They are unfortunately with the sun hitting off that yellow. It's even harder to see.
Great throw. Because Mowitz with a nice lead down the field, and Gillis hauls it in for the Rumble. So it's now 4-3. So the pull coming from right to
Worker on defense, but he looks like he just was thinking too quick and let go of that disc when he didn't want to.
Now the Rumble. Anderson will sky one, floats one high, and a jump disc, and it's to bat it away. Good defense by Keegan. Keegan's been in on a couple of big plays already.
Yeah, that can't be at all what Coach Q wants him to do. That was just a big floaty hammer that really his offender had no chance of making a play with.
Moldenhauer, Kevin, the head coach of the DC.
Ooh, big
Current.
throw.
What a huck. Look at that, floating and floating, and that's caught for the score.
Goodness, I mean, he hits him on a dime.
Wodak
Wodak goes deep. Wodak catches it, no problem.
That was beautifully done. Right now, there's really no resistance at all for the Rumble here in the opening quarter. DC really, their only mistake was a drop by Dulabon when they've had it offensively here in the opening quarter, and they've cashed in and they lead by 2 at 5-3. took another look at that Wodach catch. I think I could have caught that one if I could have got downfield, Jeff. That was
Well, I think if you were standing there, Don, it would have just landed right where you wanted it to.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't even have to move. That was beautifully done. Rumble. Again, the pull from right to left. That's Eric Salmi on the pull, by the way. Yes, above 5 minutes, I believe. They just screeched out from the public address announcer. Faust able to hook one up along. Looked like a little travel there by Mazur. Got away with it, and then he hammers it in for the score. Alade on the receiving end with his first, and the Rumble scored quickly. Boy, I thought Mazur got away with a couple of steps right there, Jeff.
I mean, it didn't look that bad to me, but it's also it's also Mazur. So I think everyone's too busy watching his hands and his feet.
Is he the LeBron James of Ultimate?
I don't know if he's there yet, but he's got a chance to be there if he keeps doing what he's doing. He's certainly popular.
Absolutely. Not only a great player, wonderful young man too. Very personable.
Yeah, he's a great. He's everything that the MLU could ever want. He's a great ambassador. The thing I've heard most about him is when they had the Kids Day at the ESPN Center in New York. I can't say how many people told me, you should have seen Mazur with those kids. The kids just adored him, and he was fantastic.
Take the catch, and it's thrown away, and it's back to the Rumble. They got a chance to tie here in the opening quarter.
And that was all DC. They made everything hard on themselves. That wasn't a D. That was just them turning it over on their own.
So let's see what the Rumble can do. Can they cash in on the mistake by the DC Current? They look downfield. They're not going to go that way. This is Corey Lee now, and he plays it up ahead to Anderson. Well, he was probably happy he was mistaken for Ben Faust, right? Now we get a timeout on the field. So we get a timeout on the field. Your score, it is DC Current 5 and the New York Rumble 4 in the opening quarter. We'll be back with more of the MLU live after this.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing!
All right, welcome right back. We're out of the timeout here in the opening quarter. Got a dandy going here at stake here in the Eastern Division of the MLU. A playoff spot in a meeting with the Boston Whitecaps next week in Framingham, Massachusetts. Game time, I believe, will be a night game, but on Sunday night, maybe 7 o'clock. And until I hear otherwise, that's what I'm sticking with. We'll find out, of course, in a few minutes. But this game will decide who will play Boston in the East. So the Rumble trying to knock the score down by 1. They'll dump it back and swing it along out to the left.
Look like they're all kind of cutting each other off. So let's see if they can calm down and find somebody open. Oh, boy.
That was dangerous. Nice catch by Mazur. He had to quickly get to it. Mazur well guarded, and he'll loft it. How's he find that throwing space and got it in for the score? Now, who's credited for that? It was caught by 2 Rumble.
Looks like Robbie Gillis lets, who is that? Is that Kevin Terry have it?
They're going to call that a dual reception. I like that.
I like
that is
dual
a dual
reception.
reception. Should we give it to Gillis? Indeed.
Looks like Gillis has wanted to score a lot today, so let's give it to him.
All right, we'll see the replay again. Who touches first? It is, hangs up there.
Ooh, that's actually pretty close.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at that. So you can see the snarky smile right there, right there. You know Terry's going to give him a little about that, right?
So that goal ties it up at 5 between the Current and the Rumble here in the opening quarter. You know, it's one of those quarters in which you're thinking DC's running away with things, right? The way they performed early on in the quarter, but it has really been the Rumble over the last couple of minutes, playing with some consistency as DC has turned it over a couple of times.
It just seems like that's how it goes, right? Like somebody comes out and they are really working hard and they're energized, and the other team comes out and looks like they're falling apart, and then they flip-flop. And we've seen it so many times. So now let's see. Now that we're tied up, we're back to even, right? So we'll see who steps up, who's got the run in them.
There's a long huck. Look at that. And I'll tell you what, the long game working for the Current as Tommy Day on the receiving end for the goal.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Doy just makes it look easy. Again, Markham Schaffner, it comes out of his hand like a bullet and nails it. It's incredible.
So Doy with the goal. We'll see that again as Doy just outraces everybody, stretching it out nicely and made the catch.
So to all those out there who are just getting on the stream, it looks like we finally got that box fixed. So welcome aboard. We have, what is it now, 6-5, right? DC's up, and it's been back and forth so far. So you've missed a little bit, but certainly haven't missed too much.
Seen some great throws, really, by both these teams. They're going at it a little bit differently. Current using that long game down the field, Jeff, and the Rumble have kind of worked at it a little bit here.
I mean, I think that's what the Rumble does, right? They work. Ooh, that's a big foul.
It's rolled down.
Yeah,
they let him play on.
They let him play on, huh? Interesting.
Matt Gordon, he should be nicer than that. I mean, after having the baby boy on Thursday.
Did we say congratulations to him for having a baby?
He just said hello to
wow.
Kamowitz. There's a long huck down the field, and look at that, they can strike.
Was that Faust through that to Terry? Boy, was that perfect. That pass. Okay, I guess that's the update. We've seen a series of just perfect passes. That was incredible. Well done. And it's hot now, too. It's kind of steamy here. It's hot. Disc float's perfect, and it's a thrower's day.
Yeah, I was talking to both coaches, said there's no way we're going to rein them in today. Really perfect conditions for throws just like that.
Yeah, it's really true. Just seems like there's just about no wind here whatsoever.
That knocks things back up at 6 apiece here in the opening quarter. So we get the pull from left to right by the Rumble. Pull from left to right. 3:06 they say remaining here in the first quarter of play. And the Rumble now controlling. Oh, look at that catch coming back to the disc. That was sensational on the far side.
And they're going deep again. Ooh, this one isn't going to be easy.
Oh, and it's knocked away. It's Keegan trying to haul it in. Going to get a foul call.
He does. He gets the foul call. And you know what? Bravo on Keegan for drawing that foul, because it was going to be a jump ball, and he really got position and made sure that if the defender was going to make a play, they're going to have to foul him. So nice job on Keegan.
I believe Jonathan Cox had the duty to cover him way down the field. He needs to be instrumental today for the Rumble to be successful.
Jonathan Cox, last game, DC versus New York, was unbelievable late in the game. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Now a short field, and it's tossed in, and the score on the far side is Schaffner able to make the catch.
Nice job. Schaffner makes it look easy. Keegan recovers well, and they take the lead.
7-6. 13 goals already, Jeff, here in the opening quarter alone.
I know, amazing, right? And of course, as an update, the press box, for those who just joined, the press box and scoreboard have had some damage to them from construction, so we don't have the official one up. We have one on the field, so we'll try to keep you updated on the time as much as possible, but there can't be much left in this first quarter, Don.
It's a wild one. 7-6, you see the fans enjoying it.
This place is packed.
It really is. Terrific crowd. And we're amongst the fans.
We are. Like I said, I think we have to cheer for DC here. They might hurt us.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Coach Q tries to slow this game down here a little bit. I don't think he really wants to get into that long pass game, that long huck down the field with DC for an entire 40 minutes, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't think so. And we just got word that there's 2 minutes remaining. So, I mean, everyone's been scoring so quickly. Look at this pass.
Yeah, Mazer will send it down, but 2-5.
Well, Kuzmowicz is fast, but he's not that fast.
Kuzmowicz had a good break on everybody. I mean, he was well clear of the field. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. So a timeout down below. We do remind you, you're watching the MLU live in the opening quarter. DC 7 and New York 6.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that?
All right, back here at Washington Lee High School. It's the home of the DC Current right now, entertaining a very fine crowd here for this playoff atmosphere in this final regular season game between the Rumble and the Current. Winner moving on to the playoffs. So a lot at stake here today, Jeff. And this game, it's been interesting. I think it's going as planned by both coaches from the conversations I had. They're going downfield long.
It's, you know, it seems like they're doing good stuff. And you know, I talk a lot about how the use of timeouts, I think, wins you games. You know, I don't have statistics to prove it, but I think if you all call all your timeouts correctly, you're going to win the game. And to call a timeout correctly means that you go down and get a D, call a timeout, put your offense on there, and score. And that's what DC's trying to do right here. Oh boy!
Dangerous throw. Gola could not receive it. Out of play over that back line.
Yeah, see, that's tough. So if New York scores right here, essentially it's a wasted timeout, right? Because they called a timeout to let New York score. So we'll see what happens. And this is not a good scenario.
It's interesting. They had a lot of difficulty getting out of their zone. Lee will edge it along, and that's some great defense.
Markham Schaffner.
Wow.
He's going to put it.
Schaffner with the finest defensive play of the day. Oh, that's going to scoot. Kick it to it was Doy.
Wow, it looked like he had the chance to make a big play in front of his crowd, and he didn't pull the trigger.
Just couldn't time the flight.
That was surprising. I think maybe he just got a little confused by looking over his shoulder. I'm not sure.
So Schaffner with the big defensive play, and then the Current give it right back. That's a wobbly pass, but held on to. Littauer. And that's going to be knocked away by Kolik.
I thought we were going to have a big collision right there. So now DC uses a second timeout. So that's 2 timeouts in 1 point. So okay, no. Correction. The referees just blew the whistle to stop the clock because that must be we're under a minute. So we got 45 seconds, Tom.
Here in the opening quarter, DC leading, trying to regain a 2-goal lead. Looks like they want to set up the hammer for Doy, and he thinks better of it. And they're going to take a shot deep in a second here. Kolik, who can throw it brilliantly, angles it, and that's defense will break it up.
D.
Littauer, I believe, on the defensive end. What a terrific play over there.
Who was that, Don? That layout was incredible. Talk about just complete disregard for your body. I thought that was a goal. Kolik got it. You see he whips it around. It's got a nice angle on it, and whoa, boy.
He got helicoptered through the air, too.
Boy, is that a play. Is that Jonathan Cox? I still can't see the number.
Yeah,
that
it was difficult to see. I thought it might have been Littauer, but perhaps your eyes better than mine. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. Maybe we'll see that replay when we return through 1 quarter. It's been a good one. DC Current on top by 1.
Trying to strike here. Mark trying to chase it down. The defense is tight. Court goes over the top and skies and scores.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing!
Well, the fans certainly enjoying the action here between the DC Current and the New York Rumble through one quarter. It is the Current on top 7-6. Jeff Snyder, Don Boyle alongside here on MLU Live, getting ready for quarter number 2. What's going on right now? Both sides of the field huddling around their coaches and talking some strategy. What would you change?
I think they're probably both saying the same thing, which is, stay calm, stay focused, keep doing what you're doing, except don't make the silly error, right? Both teams have just thrown away the disc on their own without getting any D whatsoever. So I think what we want to see is, just them fix that. And there's that layout again. Wow. I still can't tell who it is, but it's an incredible play. That camera angle doesn't do it justice to sacrifice their body like that. But so I think they're both saying the same thing. Don't make the silly mistake. And again, I think they're both trying to stay cool because it's hot, Don.
It's very warm, 90 degrees. It reads on the outside or close to it with the humidity. Just a light wind at about 8 miles per hour at game time. And both these teams playing it like it's not a marathon, like it's a sprint up and down the field here today. All disregard for the fourth quarter, perhaps.
Yeah.
Trying to throw it away, get it done early, right?
Yeah, and this is where comes the bench, right?
Yes,
we want to make sure that both teams want to make sure that their bench is used here properly. So at the end of the game, they have it there. We just I don't know if you're watching the NBA Finals, right? But nobody plays the whole game, not even LeBron James. They need to get some rest. So, roster management, bench management's huge. And you're not going to have two better ones than Coach Q and Coach Moldnauer. So we'll see who does it right. Or who does it better, I should say.
And the second quarter just about set to get it going here with the pull from right to left. It looks like the Current with the pull, and it's a good strong pull with Keegan sending it down the field. And it'll be New York on a long, majestic pull starting from their own end zone here, and they quickly advance.
That was a big pull.
It really was. Nearly went over the end line.
Looks like they got some pretty easy throws off it now, so getting open kind of at will.
Rumble working this near sideline. They take a look up the field. Nothing going on there. It's Terry. His pass is deflected away. We're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, Herman definitely gets fouled there by Keegan. Smart to look over at the ref, and now he's got the disc.
They call it pass interference. Now it's played back to Kevin Terry. Terry's scheduled to play a little bit on that D line. Oh, some layout D.
You saw that coming from Brian Marshall.
Great anticipation by Marshall.
That's kind of simple.
Who says gimpy ankle? I mean, he had to run, get set, and leap. Terrific timing.
Yeah, look, he really just puts his back there, keeps everybody away, jumps up and gets it.
Someone nearly rolled on his ankle, too. He just got it out of the way. Pretty easy to tangle feet and legs and arms in this sport. Folks having a blast. DJ getting into it down below. You know, I was talking to Coach Q, and he says he really enjoys the game the way it's played at this level. And the one day a week you can really focus, or maybe once in a while two games in a weekend, but you can really focus and gear your team up for that game each and every week. He really loves it.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun watching it. And I tell you, I miss being on the field, being a part of it. It's you just get to strategize so much, and it really adds to a level of intensity. Especially they've seen each other so many times. Like it's just the little things now they're going to win you the game.
Now it's played back.
York's playing good defense. It really was a nice pass.
Jonathan
And
Cox, yes,
he just took his time and made it look simple, and well done all around.
So we're knotted at 8 here in the second quarter.
Just when it looks like somebody's going to take a couple goal lead, we get back to even, huh?
That's right. They're really spreading the scoring out, both teams. Just one Rumble with 2, as Gillis with 2 in the first quarter. Ong has a pair, and Wodach has a pair for the DC Current here. There's a pull going to float out of play again. Obviously the skill is catching it and getting open, but how about the skill of the thrower, especially when you're scoring points off that pretty throw? That's recognized, I know, by the inner circle, but you think the casual fan really appreciates a throw as much as a catch?
I think it's hard not to. I think most people, when they see these guys throw for the first time, think it's impossible. And I mean, as someone who played for a while, I see Schaffner throw, and I just can't get how he can put that much force into it. It looks like he can throw it the whole field, and he can. So, yeah, it's really impressive how. I guess I just call it, right?
Yeah, look at that.
He's got his jump ball.
Yep. Wodach trying to get it. It's out of his reach. Nobody can recover for the Current to get to it.
You know what I like about it, though? They had the whole gang down there on, Schaffner throws it too high, but everybody came down there and tried to make a play, and that type of effort's gonna win games.
Moldenhauer had a chance at it, too. It's going to be difficult to be a player coach, to be out there and, bark out some signals.
It's true.
Now the Rumble trying to go back the opposite way, and that becomes an easy defense for Doy as he bats it away.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that choice. It seemed like it seemed almost like it was a tired choice to just try and get one throw out of there. I think the Rumble works better when they work it. They use in passes.
Just a couple at least. That certainly makes it the defense on it. Let's see what the Current will do. They're going to huck it downfield again. Keegan to give it a run, waiting, trying to design the jump, and it's knocked away. There was a little contact, no call.
He's asking for the foul, but the head ref isn't going to give it to him.
Good no call from the ref.
You can see Keegan trying to measure that jump on the long throw. That was Cox, I believe, making up some ground defensively. So tied at 8. What else is new? These two teams have played twice during the regular year. They split.
6 minutes remaining.
6 minutes, they say, remaining till halftime. Tied at 8. This is Anderson. Littauer. Nice defense there by Moldenhauer. Turn around, it was such a distance away to that far corner from this angle.
5:28 remaining in the second quarter.
The Rumble with another one.
Let's go, fans. Let's pump them up.
Boy, they've been very successful when they get a chance to put some runs together here. And now they have the lead.
Yeah, they do. And I had to step away for a second to answer a streaming question, but now that I'm back, it does look like they really took advantage of that back and forth point. And, the crowd's trying to get them pumped up here, so we'll see if it's too much. Is it a lot of pressure on DC because they have all these fans here cheering for them, or do they get focused and motivated and come down and give a punch back of their own?
That was Cox, I believe, with the goal on the far side off the nice throw by Mazer. So here we go. You're right. Will the fans help the Current get back into this game?
They're going to break this side of the bleachers,
yeah, absolutely. Well, it's great to see him into it. This is Jonathan Neely. He's been a fine player for DC. One of the unheralded guy,
Uh-oh.
one of the anchors, and that's floated away, and another turnover by the Rumble.
Man,
I should say by the Current.
Yeah, Dulabon has been the focus of, I think, 3 turnovers, whether he's been throwing him or missing him. Right? He had that one where he just threw into the dirt. He threw one away to Kolek, and I don't want to blame that one on him because it looks like it was too far away from him, but he just couldn't make the play.
Now can the New York Rumble cash in? Boy, we had a chance to watch this Rumble team. Timeout now. We had a chance to watch this New York team play in a preseason game. It seemed like forever ago now, and you kind of shook your head. Would they get it together? And they have come together as this season's progressed.
Yeah.
They really have. They're playing terrific.
Yeah, it kind of felt right. It felt like at the beginning maybe DC was just going to come out and run away, but they're really doing a nice job. I love the timeout call. Again, by the coach. He calls a timeout. He's 20 yards away from the end zone. This is big if they score. Then they go up by 2. They use their timeout well, and they put a lot of pressure on DC, halfway through the second quarter.
And DC beginning to struggle a little bit, at least with their offensive handles. And let's see if they can turn that around. So coming out of the timeout, the Rumble will have possession, and they lead by the score of 9-8.
I'm trying to figure out what play they're going to draw up here. I don't know what type of mark DC is going to put on, but I got a kind of a suspicion that Jake Herman is somewhere in this play for a score. He's got really quick feet. He's a really smart cutter. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try and focus on him.
Starting O-line in for New York. New York.
Timeout just about over. Both squads coming back onto the field. Let's see what New York will do out of the timeout. They've done a pretty nice job out of timeouts working their strategy. When you have Mazur to lead the attack, and he lays it up there. Nice leaping catch. Pomowitz on the receiving end.
And see, that's a deflating play right there, right? The Rumble call a play to Gillis, who was the hot hands, and the throw's nowhere close to good. And they get to run everybody over there and just hopefully swat it away. And it looks like Kuzmowitz, probably the shortest guy in the pack, comes down to it almost easy. Too easy. Let's look at it here. Throws it up. It's floating way too much. You see Gilly loses track of it. I mean, not one of those DC defenders even made a play at it. And that's deflating. So we'll see how the DC Current react to it now and how they come back from that.
So 10-8 your score. Pull up coming.
All right, here we go.
All right, the Rumble have been struggling. I should say the Current have been struggling now over the last couple of minutes. See if they can turn things around here against the New York Rumble.
And Keegan was the guy we talked about in their last matchup. We really wanted to see him step up and play big. And I think he feels a lot of pressure with all these fans here, and he's played well so far, but we'll see how he finishes this game.
This is Keegan. Played it out to the left side. Moldenhauer coming back to his Wodak. Wodak, well marked, and they slapped the ball of the disc away.
And this is where Wodak struggles. He struggles hitting the dump with the short little passes. We talked about this a lot yesterday. So it looked almost to me like it just fell out of his hand, but he got the call.
Yeah, they called it a contact infraction. Officials do a terrific job. Not easy, I would imagine, to referee this game. And some of the rules and infractions are relatively new to the sport, too, right? The way it all works.
I mean, they're not all that new. I mean, I think it's kind of normal what these players have been playing with for a long time. But it's tough because, just like in basketball, when you're at the pro level, you have to rely on a ref seeing all the contact. And basketball's a high contact sport, and it is a high contact sport. So I think it hurts the players that don't have those easy little kind of short, nifty throws like Schaffner and Keegan, all those guys have. And Wodak is, he's a big receiver, so he has to do something little. If he's getting pressure on him, it's gonna make it tough on him.
DC able to collaborate for one, and they make it 10-9. Schaffner on the receiving end there. Markham did a nice job to get open. And now the pull from right to left. Back and forth they go here in the second quarter. And the Rumble with a chance.
It's good to see Mazur out there. He looks like he's healthy. Looks like he's fine. Now, you know who we haven't seen? And he has a disc now, but it seems like Faust made a bunch of big plays and then...
Early on, yes.
Yeah.
Faust controlling. Had an idea to go way downfield, force a dump it back. Andrew Bosco, quite a competitor. Mazur now. Oh, that's a nice little pass up ahead to Faust.
Nice.
Now they got that short game going. Really like the play of Bosco. He's had some nice moments out there for the Rumble throughout the year.
Oh, yeah. There's Kuzmowicz flying around like he always does.
North looking. Forced to play it back. Faust has that leaping ability. Check that. That was actually Kevin Terry.
They're being patient so far. Let's just, let's hope this patience doesn't turn into tired and, not making nice cuts.
Current playing a little tighter now defensively, too. 2.5 minutes remaining till halftime.
Yeah, the Rumble just have really poor action out there by the cutters. They look tired and kind of look like nobody wants to go be the man and get open.
And that's led too far, and you're right, they try to force it right there to Mazur. That was a difficult window to try to fit it into as Cantor had the coverage defensively.
Right, and that's the result of all those passes that DC made him throw, right? It got really tough, and then they wanted to force it a little bit, and he tried to put a perfect pass in there, and it's a tough throw.
So the Current with an opportunity to tie the score here before the close of this opening half.
Right, DC has no timeouts, though, so this is going to be, they're going to have to work this point the whole way if they want it.
Let's see if the Current can get it down. That's an errant throw, and it's easily swatted away. There's probably wasn't even any reason to even knock that one down, just let it float away. Of course, you want field position.
That was a nice job by Jake Herman because he just went up there and got it quick before anybody had a chance.
Now Faust, what kind of a throw do you call that? It was creative, and will they call contact there? No, Bosco couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, you're not going to get contact with that hospital pass, so. Oh,
Whoops.
no, and just back-to-back turnovers, and there's about a minute left now. They just announced it, so can the Rumble take care of this disc?
Mazur hammers it, and hammers it off of the juggling catch. That was not easy right there.
Only Jake Herman could make that many missteps and still catch it.
But Jake, his first goal.
Nice job.
So New York now leading by 2 again by the score of 11-9. They say 1:04 remaining. Just want to mention to keep up on all the news from around the league, like the MLU on Facebook at facebook.com/MLU, and follow the league at twitter.com MLU Ultimate. And another replay of that goal there by Herman. I'm
no professional here, Don, because I keep forgetting to look at the monitor right in front of my face that shows me the replay, so I'll get better. And I wanted to see that too, because he made such an adjustment to catch it, and Mazur has an incredible hammer, right? He can put that thing pinpoint, so he really did throw a nice throw there to Herman, and that's big, right?
Yeah, I love the way he throws that hammer, and he can throw it long down the field, or he kind of touch it, and that was kind of a touch hammer, if there's
right.
Such a description for it, in layman terms, right?
Oh yeah.
The Rumble.
Still got about 40 seconds, so they don't have to rush at all. They just need to score. They got plenty of time. Actually, just heard there's 50 seconds here. They don't have to rush anything. Nice catch by Doy.
He had a skid on those knees to make that catch. Being pretty well guarded right there. To the middle of the field, and now they toss it down. They got a wide open player for one-handed catch for the goal, and boy, they needed that. They get right back into it.
And I'm glad to see Dulaban make that catch. That's really, really nice. And now here's the big thing, right? There's plus 30 seconds left. DC has to come down and play real defense. They try to do something, nifty or whatever. They're just going to get scored on. And New York needs to go down and score because that puts them up by 2 going into half. They can control the clock. This is where the winners are made, by how they manage the end of the quarters. And this is big for the Rumble. We'll see who's more prepared.
Here we go. 30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds left.
Looking for a stop. New York.
Just want to mention 5 Ultimate, the official apparel provider for the MLU. They are true lovers of the game and have built their company with a vision of growing the sport and outfitting those who play it. Visit them at 5ultimate.com or follow them on twitter.com/5ultimate. And of course, probably get that gear in the MLU shop, right?
Oh, yeah. Look at that pull by Keegan.
Big 30 seconds here to the wind down the first half. Then entertaining. 1 goal separates the 2. New York on top.
Faust looks like he's trapped with a disc, but no, he gets it off.
20 seconds.
Faust will get it back. Takes a look. They got about 20 seconds or less now to work with. Mazer can get it downfield. He's about 40 yards away.
6.
Nice
5
little touch
seconds.
up ahead. McBride, do they have time? Back to McBride, no. Can't get it done, and the first half comes to a close. 11-10 New York will go to the sideline, leading DC on a very warm afternoon.
And you can see that ease right there just killed him, because he tried to throw a little leading pass, and it would have put Webster McBride right in the end zone for the easy goal. They weren't even expecting something short like that, and he threw it way behind him, and that kills him, because that was their chance to get the 2-point lead. So we'll see if they shake that off when they come out.
A lot to do here at the half. We'll run down the playoff scenarios as we move along. We'll take a look at the plays of the week from last week. That's always exciting. And we'll talk, of course, about what's going on the West Coast, too, not only the East Coast. So all that upcoming, part of our halftime show. We'll be back with, again, your halftime score. It's a good one with New York on top of D.C. by 1 slim goal.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing.
right, welcome right back here. Nice to be with you all. Take a little nap. Only got up at about, 5 o'clock this morning to make our way south here to enjoy. But what a halftime. As you can see, New York on top, 11-10 over D.C., Jeff. And, the first thing we can talk about, obviously, as we review that first half. Back and forth it went. Both teams had a chance at a bit of a run, a couple of two-goal leads for each team, and, just one goal apart now.
Right, so we had DC up 2-0, right? So it looked like all of a sudden DC was coming out fired up, and New York looked lost, and then all of a sudden it was 5-5, and then all of a sudden it was 8-8. And then at the end of that, it looked like New York really had control, and they did a beautiful job controlling the clock, working it down, but they ended it with just an errant pass that it just seemed like they lost total focus on that one. So I wonder if they go into the locker room feeling good, or if they're really frustrated that they're not up 2 goals, because it's nice to be up 2 in the half and feel like you have some control, and now 1 goal just feels so much less, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Well, I guess DC could feel the same way on the flip side. They got off to such a great start. They look unstoppable.
Right.
And all of a sudden they started making turnover after turnover, and the Rumble cashed in. So I guess both teams have some positives to look at and some negatives, obviously, which goes really part of every game.
I mean, Schaffner started off putting it out on a rope to people. I mean, he looked he looked completely unstoppable. And then it kind of went away, I guess. I just didn't see it as much. There were just simple turnovers, simple throwaways. And I go back to it, Don. I think it really comes down to a game of just who doesn't make, the mistakes. They've both just given the disc away. So who's going to clean that up and not do that?
Well, Chris Mazur looks like one of the guys that will not do it as this game progresses. Probably some doubt in the mind of a lot of his fans out there how well he could perform here today. Did not play yesterday, was resting up for today's action. Came out, he was, I'm not going to call him unnoticed in the first half, but it took him a while to really feel his game and to become an impact player. Nice goal and a couple of nice passes for assists.
Yeah, and Faust, too, don't forget about him.
Right.
He started off making that incredible highlight catch between 2 people, and then getting up and making a nice throw. And then it seemed like we weren't calling his name anymore, and then at the end it seemed like we were. So who's really gonna step up and make us remember them today?
Alan Kolek, a guy that has been interesting. Kolek has been an interesting character here today, and Kolek has been an interesting guy that they came out quickly and did some nice things, and then obviously he kind of went away for a little bit too, and see if he can get back into his right frame of mind.
Yeah, let's hope he's not injured. He didn't look too injured, but then he had a couple ones he couldn't get to, so let's hope he's okay.
All right, we're going to take one quick break, and we'll be back from the plays of the week from a week ago, and we'll run down the playoffs information for you too. All part of our halftime. Your halftime score, it is the Rumble leading the Current 11-10. Back with more from this beautiful facility, Washington Lee High School, after this.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing!
Right back here at the Washington Lee High School as we continue on with our coverage of the MLU on MLU Live. We're in Arlington, Virginia. We're at the half. The Rumble with a lead over the Current by the score of 11-10. And Jeff, every week, outstanding play after outstanding play. And you guys have done a great job of putting that weekly package together. And perhaps we can take a look at it now.
Yeah, let's look at last week's plays, right? And it has been fun focusing on on 3 plays every week, and here we have one from Eli Friedman. It's just, we talk about layout defense and bait defense, and he just traps his defender into making him think he's open and just flies right by him. And it's just a beautiful layout. I mean, we talk about the disregard, right? He just throws his body out there and catches that thing and makes it look easy, and I think anybody who's played this game knows it isn't easy to go get that disc.
And he certainly had himself a terrific effort there. What timing.
Really, it's perfect. Now we have the Waveborn offensive play of the week, and if you don't have Waveborns out for this game, you're crazy.
Yeah, I wish I had him right now.
And it's Andre Galitz, who, I feel like he hasn't gotten nearly enough attention. If you look at his statistics, he's been fantastic. And it's a tight game, Stags versus Nighthawks, late in the game. And he goes up and makes that play. I mean, look at it. He is between 2 people, and he makes it seem so simple. And then he certainly has a nice little message for the crowd. I mean, look at this right here. 2 people closing in, and even one is up before him, and he just times it perfectly. It's just an incredible catch. And of course, your favorite, right? The friction gloves, because all the great throwers have the friction gloves. And this play is just incredible. Reed Koss is going to get a turnover right here. The Dogfish just make a simple turnover drop. Reed Koss really doesn't even hesitate. He sees the guy, he knows it's late in the quarter, and he throws it up, and the clock's not up there, but the time was running out, and I don't know how Eric the Kraken Duesberg catches it. But look at the guy. I mean, he knows he made an incredible play, and I think both the Dogfish would prefer that he just let him stay on the ground for a moment, because I'm sure it didn't feel good that he got it over both of them. But what an athlete when it comes to making that play, and incredible. Isn't it incredible how these guys can go up and catch that stuff, crash into each other, and they just get up and walk away?
And that was a big man chasing that thing down to make that catch, too. Wow.
I don't want him landing on top of me, I tell you what.
He just squashed those defenders. Some exciting plays, all coming from the West Coast. Most of the action on the West Coast last week, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we're right back here, and obviously the playoffs upon us. They begin as quickly as next week in the Western Conference and also in the Eastern Conference. Maybe we can take a look at some of the scenarios, and here you go. And of course, the winner of this game is quite simple between the Rumble and the Current. They play at the Whitecap Knicks. I believe it's going to be Saturday now. Is that right?
Saturday,
it's going to be Saturday. I thought it was
29th.
Sunday. Okay, the 29th, and that will be live on MLU. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
So it'll be 1 p.m.
Okay.
live up in Boston, and boy, should that be a game. And I think most people think, well, Boston's undefeated, and they're going to go in and clean it up. I can tell you who doesn't believe that. It's Boston. I think Boston knows how good these teams can play if they do play well. And it's me, too. I don't think that it's going to be a runaway game. I think it's just there's too much on the line, and both these teams have improved so much. So we'll see.
Of course, you have the Western Conference playoffs next week, too. Also on Saturday, Seattle, the Rainmakers playing at San Francisco, the Dogfish, and that'll be live. 4 o'clock start?
Right, so 4 o'clock Eastern, so it's 1 p.m. Pacific. So you get to watch one game, then you can watch the other. This matchup, so this will be 3 weeks in a row they play, right? So they went to San Francisco. San Francisco won that. They're playing right now, okay, up in Seattle, and then they play again in San Francisco. So this is one of those, battles of the coaches, right? You got Coach Wiggins, Coach Safdie down there, and you know that they've been playing it vanilla these 2 weeks because they don't want to show too much. So that's the game to watch. If there's one game you're going to tune into next week, it's got to be that game, because nobody knows who's winning that one.
Yeah, as you take a look at the standings as they sit today, 8-1 for the Dogfish out west, 7-2 for the Rainmakers. So yeah, you don't get any better than that.
Yeah,
that's terrific
yep.
stuff. Well, right here, of course, the Rumble trying to hold on to their 1-goal lead as both teams will be coming on for the second half of play in just a moment. You can see on the far side, the DC Current shielding from the sun high above at about 90 degrees. We'll take one more break. We'll be back with the second half in just a bit here on MLU Live.
get that? Did he get that? Amazing!
Right back here at Washington Lee High School as we settle. Both teams coming on for the second half of play. 1-goal differential. New York on top of DC 11-10. For the Rumble, a pair of goals from Owens here today. Jonathan Cox with a couple of goals today. They're really expecting some defensive stuff from him, and he has been on the receiving end. And of course, Gillis has scored a couple to lead the way.
Well, it seems like that's where Jonathan Cox strives in the second half. So let's see how he plays D. And I tell you, funny, Don, I had to mention, we drove down here, you and I were setting up in the rain, and then it stopped raining. And it was,
right.
I think, can the humidity be 150%? Because that's what it was.
Absolutely.
And now it's kind of breezy and kind of a little bit of clouds out there. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but it looks like the wind's going to pick up. So it feels like it's going to be a different second half in terms of conditions.
No, you're so right. The weather, we've had 3 different weather forecasts today, right? Or feelings today. It's been crazy. So I know they have thunderstorms in the forecast potentially at above 50%. We take a look at some of the clouds up above. And I'm not a weather guy, so I can't tell you what that all means. Maybe
well, I'll tell you what's going to happen, Don. Look, I know how our day's going to go. We're going to set up in the rain. We're going to have a beautiful game, and you and I are going to take all this stuff down in the rain.
In the rain, absolutely. The way it should go. You know, for the Current, a couple of goals in the first quarter by David Cranston. He did that early, and we haven't seen much of Cranston from that point on, which is interesting. Wodatch with a couple. Ong has a couple, and Schaffner with a couple of goals leading the attack for the Current here. So.
Yeah, I mean, you got to rely on your stars here, right? You got to think that Schaffner and Keegan and Kolick are the guys who are going to lead you to victory, and you got to think that, Mazer, Faust, and I would probably say Joe Anderson are the guys you got to focus on here to bring the Rumble a win. So let's see. Let's see what they're going to do.
Remember, no Danny Heyman in the lineup. He's gone for the rest of the year for the Rumble, unfortunately, with a knee injury. So we certainly wish him a good recovery from that injury. Certainly an instrumental part
They're
of
going to get it anyway.
Action here. And they got it in. Nope, just shy. Looking around.
Wow.
Ong, nice patient play by Ong after the catch.
Calvin Ong, he just seems like he's everywhere. Yeah, I think, now we've talked about kind of the roles that you can play, and you can be a handler, someone who touches the disc and is a good thrower, or cutter, someone who gets out there and can catch a whole bunch of stuff. Seems like Ong just does it all. He plays great defense. He's big and tall. He can throw all. He has all the throws, and you see right here, he just fires that quick disc right into the chest of Dulabon.
Dulabon, nice two-handed catch too, right?
Yeah, I think he knows he has to right now, right? He's had a couple flubs.
Yes. Glad you mentioned it, and I didn't, but I was thinking about it.
Well, he knows I'll call him out for it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure he'll still come up and shake my hand, or who knows? He could probably pick me up and throw me around. So.
Well, a good start for DC as they score quickly here in the third to tie it. You talk about the conditioning of these guys. A couple of guys are warming up, and it was so warm and humid during the warm-up session. They were out there without their jersey tops on. Man, they built. Those guys, they're jacked.
Hey, when you work out every day because you love a sport and you play a sport that requires you to run this much, you're going to look good. A little flub right there by Terry, huh?
Yes, absolutely. Now Mazer to control. See if he can be the settling force today for the Rumble. Looks like he's moving okay. Oh, that's knocked away. Panther with a big play defensively. Oh, they're going to award it back to the Rumble.
He's going to get the foul. He's going to get the touch foul. That's clutch.
Cantor thought he had the clutch defensive play. Instead, the call goes away to the Rumble. Mazur now. Look at that. Just flicks it down accurately and in for the score. Kmowicz on the receiving end.
I tell you what, you look at Kmowicz and you have to, they should just do an ISO kill on him. He just runs, you don't know where he's going. He just runs you around, and then all of a sudden your head's turned in. And Ryan Todd was playing good defense, but he turned his head the wrong way once. Kmowicz went the other way, and easy pass, and he can fly.
Mazur doing that strike down the sideline too. Look at this. Just flicks it along. Huh?
And see, you can see how Todd was looking over his left shoulder before he even knew what happened. The disc was up, and Kmowicz was cutting back right and made it look like it was no problem.
So DC New York regains a lead, 12-11 over DC here. The pull from left to right.
This is just how it should be, right? What an exciting game. Now, you missed a game yesterday with DC. Now, they looked like they were resting quite a few players, but the Spinners won with no time on the clock with a hammer to your favorite guy, Trey Katzenbach. So let's hope it ends with something crazy like that today.
Absolutely. Trey's certainly a great advocate of the sport.
Oh yeah, he'll always be thought of as just one of the great players that ever played it.
Schaffner in control, will dump it back. Kolek plays it up to the near sideline. Wodach.
Let's see if Wodach gets the disc off easily. Nice job.
Moldenhauer out there. Keegan with a touch. Trying to get everybody involved here in this sequence upfield. Kolek plays it out right. That was low.
Just seems like Kolek is moving too quick. Right? He's almost throwing or running before he's throwing, and it just looks like he's going too quick. And wow, that's a crossfield pass that should have been contested.
Anderson tried to lay out to make the catch, and it's out of his reach.
New York turns it right back.
So they take some turns, turn it over here. 12-11, New York leading.
8 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
You say 8 minutes remaining in the quarter. They're keeping the time down on the field.
I'll tell you what I think, Don. I think that it's hot, and these players are feeling it right now. Right now, they just have both teams are coming out a little stagnant, and they're going to have to fight through it.
Wilkes a little too tight there to Ong, and the infraction stepped off. Wodach takes a look downfield.
Kenny.
Yeah, you're not seeing that dynamic cutting downfield right now by DC. They've shortened their game up a little bit too. Could be the weather, right? Schaffner. Now he'll throw it.
It could be, but
oh, look at that. Did he razor that in? Wow.
I mean, look at the disc come out of his hand. And I swear it's moving twice as fast as what everybody else can do. It's just he fires it out. And besides the fact he can throw it that fast, that quick, his release is quick in itself. So before you know what's happening, it's out of there.
Tommy Doyle on the receiving end. He was wide open in the back end of the end zone. Well, that ties it at 12.
Yeah, he was standing there and they threw it to his gut.
See that again.
Like the replay can't even can't get back far enough because he throws it just so quick. Nice, just brilliant throw. And that it looked like they were kind of stuck for a second there, didn't it, Don?
Yep.
So they get it back. They get a goal that they needed.
They were trailing by 1 coming into the third quarter, and DC now is not at the score at 12. This went far, far from over.
Yeah, you just get the feeling it's going to be this way, isn't it? We said it multiple times. It looks like it's going to be goal after goal. It's until somebody really steps up. So I guess we'll see who's really
Mazur down for Faust. Can he get to it? Trying to circle underneath it. It's up for grabs, and it's going to be stolen away.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh my! How does that even happen?
That was Johnson. How did he come down with that?
Oh. Well, I guess we'll cue that one up for replay because that was fun.
This is Gordon.
And Ryan Todd with a nifty little pass up to Neely, too.
Todd with a goal back in that first half. He'll receive another pass from Neely. Neely's been kind of an unsung hero for this DC team. He's been a guy that comes to play, plays consistently. Call him an anchor. That's a nice feed up ahead. Marshall on the receiving end.
What a big turn of events, right? You get the D, and then it looks like you're going to throw it away because Mazur throws it way too high. It looks like it's going to be a turn right back, but it looked like maybe Jonathan Cox, and I don't know how Delrigo Johnson catches that. What was that exciting?
He deflected it, caught it, and then the rest of the gang did the
Here
work.
it is. Oh,
Wow.
Man, he just
Strong
missed
hand.
it by a second. Yeah, I guess, hey, strong hands, yank it away, right?
Must be practicing with one of those grippers.
right. That's like the old school thing. Here it is again. Look, he just really, I think he really yanks it away from him. I don't even know that Johnson's hand was the first on it. Just looks like he grabbed it with more authority and pulled it away.
So DC regains the lead here in the third quarter.
Now this is definitely a big swing. Now DC's got the lead. You feel like you can put some pressure back on New York to make their offense, try and do too much.
Ben Faust out on the left. Takes a look. Pass up ahead can be dangerous. Oh, that's a great catch to keep it alive on the far side. Or did he not? Yes, he did. That was, I believe, caught on the far side by not Anderson. That was Corey Lee, I believe. He felt to read the number on the far side. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it looks like the DC guys really felt that he landed on the line there, but they called him in. Oh, and he gets stalled.
Wow. That was Terry. That's defense for you.
And see, this is where the advantage is, right? You get the stall called. DC's going to set up. They're going to walk and hit the spot. And let's see if New York's ready to play D.
That was Kaufman who was playing the D on the stall right there. He's a hulking of a man out there. He's a big fella.
Yeah.
Throws on the far side. Cranston.
And see the defender's trying to keep him stuck on the sideline. He does get it off.
Forced to dump it back.
And that's a big part of the strategy here is to get people stuck on the sideline. And you see what happens? They try to make those tougher throws, and Hazara can't get there.
Hazara gave it a good effort. He's also a very tall player. Right now, the Current going a little deeper on their bench with the fresh legs in there.
I think they're right. I think it's whoever goes deeper wins the game. And he's got Kuzmowicz out there, but he's got a fast chip Cobb on him.
Wow, that's caught. Loads with another one.
Play.
That's his fourth. That's a beautiful pass by Mazur. That forehand flick by Mazur is like deadly, isn't it?
It's lightning. It really is. And, when you had Heyman out there, you had lightning and thunder, right?
That's
So, say it again, Heyman, if you're watching the game, if he's not watching the game, good, he's right there on the sideline. Good, I'm glad he's here. But when he watches the game back, certainly wish him the best and hope that knee recovers well. And, I think we were wondering who was going to step up. It seems like kind of like the whole team is filled in for him. We've seen some from Faust, some from Ralphie Gillis, some from Kevin Terry. Who do you think is going to be the big guy for the rest of the game?
That's a question mark, because I think you just hit the nail right on the head. It's been such a team effort. Different guys stepping up, but I think the way Mazur's playing right now, the way he's throwing it right now, especially off that forehand side, it's deadly. And because Mowich has been his favorite target.
Yeah.
Current haven't been as lethal, I think, with their attack, with two guys being so dependable.
Yeah, I thought Kolek was going to throw another one away right there, but wow.
Long flick. Hucked it
Look
down.
at that play.
Wodach.
Jeff Wodach.
How about the body positioning right there to make sure he was the only guy with a chance to catch it?
I mean, come on. Look at Schaffner. Schaffner fires it out again. He throws it so hard. If the camera stayed with him, you'd see that he just rockets backwards because of how much force he's putting into that disc. But most people on this earth just couldn't do that throw. And then most people on this earth, aren't Jeff Wodach, who can pull that down and make it look that easy. And look at this, just fires it out.
That's crazy. With a flick of the wrist. And look at that positioning.
And Wodach, look, see, all the young players should see that, how he puts his body in the way for his defender. That way he can go up with one hand on the other side and pull it down, and he makes what is not easy look very easy.
And graceful too. Just well done.
Yeah.
What a throw. Thompson's had such strength. I mean, just to flick it that far, to huck it that far downfield.
Yeesh.
That was about 3/4 of the way. And it gives DC the lead again by 1. So back and forth they go.
It does, and oh, what a sweet throw.
Now both teams opening it up again.
This is not a good matchup for Nalade.
Too many defenders there.
Yeah, I thought he might have drawn the foul there, but I think that the refs just aren't going to give it to him when he was double teamed like that, especially with Hazara, who looks like a giant out there.
He really does. He just hunkered down on him.
I don't like the choice by Faust, though. It's just the matchup wasn't good enough, and you're thrown against Hazara, who his favorite thing to do is to D him up. But hey, they play good D and get it back.
So here you go. A chance. That was Terry on the interception.
Ooh.
That was a dangerous. Littauer, a little feisty player, and he gets knocked down.
I like that play by Littauer, right? He draws the foul because he saw how junky the cuts were, and now he gives him a chance to calm down and make a scoring throw.
He slipped lots.
Ooh, they're not going to give it to him again, though.
Didn't travel. Now he hammers it home. Went over the top.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
nice
I
play.
see. You know, he tried to do it again. I think the refs are saying we're not going to give you, we're not going to let you bump in and get the foul. But he calms down and he throws the hammer over top. And Ross has been playing for a long time. I coach Ross for a bit, and he's a hard worker, so he's not gonna get phased out there. And you'll see right here, just puts the hammer really perfectly. Is that Kevin Terry? Is that who got it?
Looks like Terry.
No, it wasn't.
Down. That wasn't Terry.
I couldn't see
I
it, but
couldn't pick it up either.
whoever it was, they made it look easy.
That ties it up at 14. Do apologize when we misidentified. Very difficult to read the numbers today. The perch a little low today.
Yeah, I wish the sun would just really go the other way.
Absolutely. Get out a pair of those sunglasses.
No, we'll have to get you. We didn't give you a pair yet?
No, I haven't made a good enough catch yet.
Oh, well, that's you're right.
I know it's for the gloves. Yeah, can I trade them in for the glasses?
Right off the pull, Moldenauer stuck. Wow.
Oh, juggling catch. Put him in the circus.
That was Andrew Wilkes, I think, making a big layout.
Wodach just had a strong third. Kolek forced to dump it back. Moldenauer works the sideline. Wodach and hangs. And he makes the catch. And in for the score. Schaffner on the receiving end. That was a nice sequence.
He's just Hercules in the air. I mean, look at him. They throw it to him and he comes down with it. I mean, you saw it happening the whole way. I couldn't see who was covering him, but I think it was Andrew Bosco. And Andrew Bosco poached off here on the left side of the field, and Wodach is running with him the whole time. So Wodach basically did a 50-yard sprint across, and Bosco was chasing him the whole time. And it just proves that you can't leave him for a second because they're going to throw it to him, and he's going to catch it. So incredible all around.
DC regains the lead. The official disc of the MLU is a Nova Pulsar, designed in cooperation with the players and the staff of the MLU, and that thing floats to the air gracefully, and Wodach just made a great catch with one of those discs. He's got to love it. Check him out.
Yeah, it's been a great hit, and it's been fun to watch the players. I was actually texting with Kevin Moldenauer, and he was telling me that the team loves that new disc, especially with the grip and just the way it flies, and it's fun to watch them throw it out here as far as they can. Just a little bit farther than you and I can throw it.
Absolutely. It's got such a nice edge, too. I mean, when you want to curl it in, just like that.
Well, I don't know what that throw was, but that was risky. But there is the problem. DC's playing some really good defense, and New York's going to have to run through it.
Kevin Terry with dangerous pass up the field, but it was caught. Abergan,
yeah. Got to give it to Rumble, though. They run through it.
Faust. Terry lays it out. That's going to be tipped and intercepted by Todd.
That's a big D.
He gave up some size, too, in that far side, and we get a timeout call. Good timeout call by the DC Current. They lead by 1 late in the third. We'll keep it right here, Jeff. And you mentioned the DC Current defense stepping it up here.
Yeah, that was really nice. I mean, Ryan Todd, who's a veteran, he's known as an offensive cutter, and boys, he played some great defense on some of the difference makers here for the New York Rumble. And right there, he gets that D, and it looked like he might not be able to get the angle, and the receiver was going to make him just jump up and miss it, but nope, he got that edge. And now, we talk about it again, they're up 1, and they got the timeout. This is a big score, right? Then they go up 2, and they get the break. So that's a big deal.
So you like the timeout even though it's only the third quarter?
Oh, yeah.
With this heat condition and
Yeah,
all?
I mean, my opinion is that if you start off on D and you burn a timeout and you score, it doesn't matter when you do it in the game, it's the right call.
Let's see if they can cash in. I believe the Current used a similar timeout back in the first half, and it didn't work in their favor. I think they turned it over, so
Yeah.
it's interesting to stay down by the goal line, too.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You draw up these plays off the timeout, and you see how they're right there in that straight line stack in the middle of the field, and then all of a sudden you start running, and it all goes to heck. So, is it Schaffner starting with it? Because then I'll have a $1.50 bet that he's throwing it to Wodach deep.
Yeah, that was like a Dulabon. We haven't heard about the Dulabon over the last couple
I
of
mean,
minutes.
look at Joe Anderson. He's standing 2, 3, 4 yards behind Wodach. They don't want him anywhere close to deep.
They're going to play it over near side.
Oh.
And it's Wodach couldn't hold on to it. Wow, look, so routine. And now a chance for New York to tie. So again, they come out of a timeout and they do not execute.
And we got Ross Littauer pick it up, and you know he's going to look for a quick, squirrely little pass.
Plays it out, and we get a whistle before the catch by Anderson. Now going to get a chance to try again.
Ooh,
They
we
didn't
got
give him
the-
enough space, yeah.
Negative 10 yards for New York.
So
Boy.
there was a pick call on the field, which it looked like Wodach was picked off of Anderson, which is going to move Ross Littauer back 10 yards. That's a big deal. That was a goal right there. So now they got to take a deep breath and make a good play. Looks like we got another call.
I thought Doy had infringed on his space out there. I didn't see the pick downfield, so.
I didn't see the pick at all either. I thought that if anything, it was
Clean play.
like a throwing foul, but.
So it's against the Rumble. We're going to restart here.
Ooh.
We play it out. As Van Langer made that nice catch, and they shoot
Boy.
it in for the score.
Boy, was that textbook. I mean, he gets the dump off, and they swing it right around to Kevin Terry. I think it was Van Lang to Kevin Terry, and he fires a bullet right over, and bing, bang, boom, it's a goal.
I think on the receiving end, was that Herman who made the catch?
I think
Or
it's Austin
23?
Raymond.
Was that Raymond? Okay. So it was Raymond. 23, not 33.
Yeah, that was. You know, I gotta say, I'm really impressed with that play because it looked like, you know, you move back 10 yards, then maybe you get a little jittery, and the sun's beating down on you, and they just went textbook, bing, bang, boom. I mean, that was made to look way easier than it was.
Now we get the pull from right to left is DC and New York in a battle. Getting close to the end of the third quarter. What a fourth quarter we have in store for you.
Yeah, and look at them. You can already see, you know, the DC players bent over on their knees. It's hot. This is a war of legs and of lungs. So, you know, we still got a long game left.
Throwing a little will too.
Oh yeah.
Golick out to the left side. This is Keegan. Floated one up. Schaffner comes way downfield and it angles in. The catch is made. Ong and in for the score. Nice catch by Ong. He had to reach down for it and they capitalize.
Yeah, I mean, you know, back in the day we would have thrower calls, right? So you saw on the sideline that one of the big throwers, you know, the team got it, and the whole bench would yell thrower, and you knew that you just had to run behind your guy or run deep because they were going to throw it. I feel like that's what they have to do with Schaffner. I mean, look at this pass here again. It's on a dime to Ong. He catches, he's going to throw an easy throw. If Schaffner has a disc, you have to make him throw under and in passes because he's just way too comfortable right now.
I'm just going to mention that they're really allowing him to just set up and throw his strength. That they're not taking that away at all defensively.
I mean, look at the throws.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put somebody right on Ong's back. It looked like he was going to catch it easy. I mean, you just got to put more pressure on Schaffner if you want a chance. He's just too good.
Wide open to that offensive side, a forehand side there to make those accurate throws. Now, opportunity for the Rumble, down by 1 to DC. Late in the third, we'll get a shout out on the time remaining momentarily. They're keeping the time down in the field. There you go.
There we go.
You say 20 or 40?
I think he said 40 seconds there, so we're probably about 35 right now.
Now again up ahead. The mullet. Now they play it back. Mazer.
I think DC really wants to burn clock here if they can.
Over to Mazer. He can be so dangerous. Mazer looks. Time ticking down. He plays it up and in. Cutting across the goal line for the score.
Look at Mazer. He looks off a wide open pass to burn the clock, and then he hits the other wide open pass, and it was all right in his game plan, right in his, he was in control the entire time. That really, he's a brilliant player.
Ties it at 16. I think we have time for a pull and maybe a huck downfield. Well, would you play into the DC hands? They're so good with that long huck downfield, or would you just try to angle it somewhere where you try to take away some of those passing angles?
I think I would just put 2 guys on Schaffner and 2 guys on Wodach. What do you think?
Absolutely. But then you got others like Ong to contend with.
I mean, I agree with you, and I hear you, Don. I got to tell you, if anybody lets Wodach cut deep in this one, they're crazy. You have to make him go under the disc. He's just been too powerful. And if they're, we talk about the mark on Schaffner here. I think you just got to stay low. You got to stay flat and try to make him throw something that is a bit more uncomfortable.
Yeah, move him to his backhand side or something. Let's see what they try to do.
15 seconds.
We got 15 seconds here.
He lost his balance, but got the pass away to Gordon.
10, 9, 8,
Here it is. Schaffner towards the end zone, and that's going to be intercepted.
Ooh, they've got time.
2,
And that's going to do it. We're going to the fourth quarter, tied at 16. On the line is a playoff opportunity next week in Boston on Saturday versus the Whitecaps. Wow. 1 o'clock start, by the way. I believe that was, Raymond on the intercept, by the way. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the fourth right after this on MLU Live.
Oh my goodness, did he get that? Did he get that? Amazing! Well, they say you should hydrate, 48 to
24 hours before you compete. I hope these guys have done that.
Well,
it is warm coming into the fourth quarter.
Remember,
Jeff.
they both played yesterday, so they didn't even do anything close to that. And look,
That's right.
Don, they're giving out Waveborns below for raffles, so you should have. You didn't get a raffle ticket, did you? That was your chance. I'm not giving you any.
End of 3. New York and D.C. tied at 16. 10 minutes, maybe more, to decide who will move on in the playoffs. Of course, you're excited about the MLU championship game taking place in the grand city, the beautiful city of Philadelphia.
I am so excited. July 13th, 6 p.m. In Franklin Field. We're just trying to make it as exciting a game as possible. You can get tickets. MajorLeagueUltimate.com. I don't actually think it's up right now. I think that they're launching it tonight, so we're a little early, or tomorrow morning, but you can get tickets. All sorts of stuff to do there. There's going to be a free clinic beforehand, a pre-game party at City Tap House, which is a beautiful place. Post-game party. There's Nick Darling been doing a great job, along with Antoine Johnson, organizing the whole thing. So it's going to be an exciting day. And you're going to be there.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to stay away from the pre-game party, however. I think I'll go to the post-game.
Yeah. We get no pre-game party,
right.
Don. We get pre-game stress. That's what we get.
Absolutely. Oh, it all works out in the end, though, doesn't it? Somehow, somewhere.
Well, we get to watch a game.
That's right.
And it's going to be a fun game. You know what the most fun part is that it reminds me a lot of American League, National League back in the day, where just you had two teams come together that had never played anyone. So you had no idea what was going to happen. You didn't really know who was the better team. It was all speculation. And that's what excites me, right? Is it going to be the Dogfish versus the Whitecaps, or the Rainmakers versus the Current? You don't know who it's going to be, but when they get there, you have no idea who has an advantage, and that makes it really, really exciting.
Parity, it's so important. I think if you played off the NFL and the question marks each and every week on who's going to win, it certainly brings all the fans together. And of course, you got Fantasy Ultimate also, that folks get a chance to learn about the players that way, which is terrific.
Yeah, well, I also got to say, in terms of parity, I would actually say we don't have parity. I think that the Boston Whitecaps, Rainmakers, and Dogfish are just a leg up. And the only one that seems like they can get in that class right now is the Current. But those three teams, they're just unbelievable. And
how important is first touch here in the fourth quarter to get that lead?
I don't know. I'd say last touch is most important. I mean, just don't make the silly mistakes here, right?
Have again on the far side. In possession of the disc. Time ticking down, and played it out nicely to Mazer. Mazer's so clever to get to those spots.
Yeah, I mean, they're making him work.
Looks like almost man-to-man right now. As Mowitz on the far side. After his last goal, he was gassed. I didn't see him on the field for a bit after that. There's a 10-yard foul.
I mean, like I said, he's going to run full speed all over the place, and he's going to burn that motor if he has to. But they are trapped on that sideline. This pass is going to work.
All the way across the field.
I'll tell you what, I've never thrown that pass because I would have. I don't even think it's something you would have in the arsenal to throw it across field 45-yard pass.
Will it be Faust who's a hero here in the fourth quarter? Terry back to Faust. And leans it in for the, well, just shy. Avigan will touch it along, and there's a score.
Look at that nifty little lefty backhand for the goal. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, right? Didn't it look like the Rumble were going to have a turnover there, or they were going to be forced to do something, make a mistake or do something foolish, and they didn't. They just kept their calm and worked it. And I think DC can feel good about that, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating, right? They worked that hard, and they didn't get a turn.
Mowitz on the receiving end. Yeah, in particular on that long pass coming the width of the field that you thought it might have give an opportunity to DC to really set their defense. That play took a lot of time to develop yet.
And I'm really interested to see if New York can do the same thing, because much to my delight, there's a breeze coming through now, and I'm wondering if maybe that's just changing the field just a little bit, and you're going to get some more errant throws, or throws that just are a little bit off. So I'm interested to see if the Rumble now can come down and put a bunch of pressure on DC and see how they react.
Well, New York on top by one slim goal. Anderson on the pull.
And Anderson just hasn't gotten his pulls off the ground. That thing is barely 10 yards in the air, 10 feet in the air, and that's going to hurt you.
Can't set that defense when it gets down so quickly.
Oh.
Schaffner. Let's see if they take that forehand flick away. He's been deadly with it today. Pollock played it up.
And downfield, Wodach tried to cut deep, and Anderson just didn't let him.
Dulabon. He has steadied his hands a little bit after that first half. when he dropped a couple.
Yeah, I mean, no one's ever said about Tulabon that he doesn't have steady hands. He's very steady. So it's just uncharacteristic first half.
Ong is going to sail one to the back edge. It's up for grabs. Nice leaping catch on the run by Doi. He's had himself a nice game today.
Smart throw, smart matchup. He sees Tommy Doi, who's one of his best receivers. Great hands, great ups on Ross Littauer, who just doesn't match him in height and isn't going to be able to make a play if it's a good throw. And smart choice.
So DC ties it at 17. We'll see that again.
Yeah, look how quick, and that just comes out so flat, so perfect. And it's it actually really doesn't matter how good of a throw that was. He just needed to get it out there, and very smart by Tommy Doi.
Showing his speed, took a nice angle too on the run.
Yeah, very nice.
So get a pull from left to right here. Just want to mention Friction Gloves, the official glove provider for the MLU. All-weather gloves made and designed for the ultimate players out there, combining the tactics of the receiver gloves and rubberized grip for better catches and throws. And are we going to have the Friction Glove catch of the day today?
I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it, though. Yeah. It could be that. It could be that Faust catch.
Absolutely, that was terrific. Who picks that anyhow? Do you get a committee together to make those selections?
I think that's the film crew's, the office's favorite thing. They all pal around and talk about the plays. So.
For some of the plays have been highlighted on ESPN's Top 10, and there's a throw, and oh,
wow!
What a great play for the score. A little punt after the catch.
Ignacio Ease.
Wow.
Big catch right there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we put it together a package with Faust catch in there for this week, having made it on ESPN the last 6 weeks, right? So it's been fun.
Was Iggy on the catch right there, huh, for the Rumble?
Yeah, and look at this. Again, all the young players, you see it, that body position, right? You got to get your body in the way so that a defender's arm can't come through, and he makes it look easy, as all these guys do. But that's a big play because Faust put it out there for him, and Ignacio was a late addition to the roster. And it's going to give you some confidence pulling in a late addition bench player to make a big play like that. So
absolutely, coming on.
It's a big deal.
Big thing. Marshall thought I think he had that well defended too. He thought he was finding the angle right there, and Iggy just pulled it away.
Yeah, Marshall's a competitor, and he prides himself in his shutdown D. So he's not going to be happy that he's caught that one.
A little higher trajectory to that one on the pull downfield. DC down by 1 in possession here, fourth quarter.
I mean, how many lead changes have we had, Don? It just seems like it's back and forth the whole game.
Each team has enjoyed 2-goal lead.
At downfield, you got Anderson playing 10 yards behind Wodach, and they won't even throw it to him.
Keegan's going to laser one downfield, caught by Schaffner. Schaffner with the toss in, and look at Wodach. He can't make the catch. He looked right and threw it out left to Wodach, just out of his reach. Wow.
Wow. I don't really have words for that. I think I was so ready to say great catch by Wodach, great throw, because again, somehow he's uncovered, which how is it even possible? But it just seemed to have, and we talked about a little bit of wind now. They just pushed it just a little far.
So the Rumble trying to regain a 2-goal lead here. Both teams have enjoyed 2-goal lead. That was a great throw. Mazer lays it out nicely, and it's caught just shy of the line by Baker, and he's got it in to Cox for the score.
The whole crowd just had a big collective woo with that flick. That who threw that? I didn't see. I mean, I've never seen that throw before. And then at the end of that, you see Keegan really, really tired. Couldn't even chase after Jonathan Cox. And look at them all. They are tired.
Well, Baker and Ease have both come on to make some big plays now for the Rumble here in the fourth quarter. They go deeper on the bench with Coach Q. Of course, Cox out there.
And this is dagger time. So Rumble comes down and gets a D. I'd bet you a whole bunch of money Coach Cronson, unless they have a fast break, is going to call the timeout. He's going to slow everything down. He's going to try to go up by 3. You don't want to be in that position. DC has to be focused and go down and score and keep this game a 1-point game.
So DC, the Rumble, scoring 2 consecutive Looked like the Current had an easy score to tie things, and the pass too far away from Wodash, and all of a sudden they capitalized. Look at the sun.
Look at that pass, or look at that pull. My.
Oldenauer had to shield his eyes to make sure he's going to catch that thing. Big possession here by the Current.
Yep, and they have their steady line in there, right?
Doyu's had a big game. Nice catch moving ahead by Ong.
They had Keegan deep versus.
Get a little physical out there right now.
Well, I think Moldenauer was a little mad about getting that layout on his heels, and I don't blame him. Doesn't feel good to have someone riding your back like that.
Van Lang doesn't like the call against him at all. You can hear him shouting from here.
Very good. Crowd's happy about Lang not being happy.
Now the officials are going to slow things down here a little bit. Mazer wanted off the field. Now he's back on.
I think they're pulling Mazer off for an injury. Now this means that since Mazer's coming off, and we got to hope he's okay, this means that DC can sub 2 players if they wish. And now they got Anderson on Ong out there, and plays back started.
Anderson is long. He's got that long reach. Ong is good. Moldenauer, head coach with disc in hand. Don't make mistakes.
He doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Ooh, that was dangerous.
Keegan, look at Jonathan Cox. Whew. He's blazingly fast.
That was good work by Keegan. The read that Cox was hunting that down. Came back to it just enough.
Nice lefty backhand.
Todd and up and in. Ong on the receiving end.
And it's important too that you understand what I'm saying. Nice lefty backhand by Keegan. He's a righty. Be the new throw in Ultimate is the lefty backhand, or the opposing backhand. So it's really hard to throw a flick that has touch on it from any height. So all the players are learning now to use the offhand backhand, and he can float it out there, and that's what he does. He gets it, I think, over to Todd, and Todd throws an easy goal. And that's big. Right now they're back into a 1-point game instead of a 3-point game.
The sun is dipped behind a huge cloud up above. Not a dangerous looking cloud, not ominous at all, but certainly has cooled things off. He made it delightful for at least a couple of minutes or maybe moments here.
Look, don't tease him, Donnie. You know that
right.
you're daring the rain clouds to come to us.
Good look at the crowd, and a huge crowd on hand today at Washington.
They are up and down these bleachers right now. Right now we got the entertainment team doing all sorts of stuff.
They love their Ultimate here in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay, so can the Rumble march down?
Trying to regain that 2-goal advantage again. Kind of a wobbler.
Daniel Cantor out there on Mazer, and that's a good matchup to watch.
Good to see Mazer back out there. They throw it back. Mazer running okay, makes the catch, had a leap. Mowitz. And he threw it away. He was looking for Faust, and I don't think it went the direction he wanted it to go.
Wow, I mean, Faust didn't even make an attempt. And
Neely hucks it wide open. On the run, score.
There we go. And they get the break, and we're all tied up again.
Neely and Gordon collaborate to tie it. Well, they say Neely's a terrific player, and that was just a beautiful pass to Gordon after a costly mistake by the Rumble.
Yeah, that was again, it's a shame they wind up for the backhand. You see Kuzmos wind up for it, and it looks like he's got a target, and he releases it, and Faust just knew it was a throwaway right away. That's tough to see. That was a mistake. We talk about it, right? The mistakes you don't want to make. You don't want to give it away.
And they looked like they had nice spacing. There wasn't anybody really forcing the issue at all, and they had some time, but just couldn't get that dish where they wanted it to. Coach Q upset about something, I think. He went on to the middle of the field to have a chat with the officials, or was he just trying to get a timeout for his troops? They could be gassed right now.
Oh, he burns the timeout. That's I don't know if I'm a fan of it. And I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Coach Q. So if he knows what his team needs, but it just seems like you want that timeout if you get a D, so you can put your offense on. But maybe he just feels like he needs to give him a talk and tell him that you know, it's win and keep going, or lose and go home.
Coach Q, very fond of the MLU, just loves the format, the time games. He said he can't watch a club game, an amateur game now, after being involved with the nuances of what the MLU is all about.
And it's tough to say. I mean, we can all watch the club games and all those things, so we enjoy it. And I think really what Coach Q is trying to say is just he just loves how just the feel of it, how, you know, we can come out here and put on these this show like this. But I'm a big fan of Coach Q. You know, every time we have a game together, we shake hands and have a good talk, and it's just fun because he takes it as seriously as all the other greats here take it. And when you have people who just love their job and are passionate about it, you get fun stuff, and he's a key part of it.
By the way, he's the best dressed coach in the league, at least on the East Coast I've seen.
Yeah, he's just looking good all the time, right? I think he's making us look like a bum today. Don, except but he didn't have to
That's right. I never
put all the stuff together in the rain.
I never put my black MLU shirt on today, didn't I? So we're tied at 19 coming out of the timeout. That might have been a timeout of survival for the Rumble right there. Who knows? Looks like they might run away with the fourth quarter when they opened up a 2-goal lead, but the Current have responded.
Yeah, and the crowd is getting excited. I surely hope that they secured this bleacher over here. I'm going to say it again because this whole construction thing's got me nervous.
Absolutely. A lot of renovations taking place here. Shouts of defense. Having in the control.
Nobody looks open.
And it comes back to Andrew Bosco. Very feisty player over there. Avigan had a lead for it. Eric Miner out there guarding Avigan. Low pass, and he gets it around.
I'm going to give that one to the crowd. Crowd is calling his name.
DC's going to get it.
Oh my goodness, Delrico Johnson. I couldn't say anything, Don, because I didn't know what was going on. Well, there you go. I guess he gets a pair of friction gloves.
I think that is the catch. That is the catch.
He gets a pair of friction gloves. He gets a pair of waveboards. He gets whatever he wants.
I got to become friendly with him to get those waveboards from. What a catch.
Goodness. Boy, did this crowd explode when they saw that. Well, now I'm going to say this. I feel more secure about the bleachers because it didn't come down there. We're fine.
Right.
We get to see that again. Look at this back. It almost looked at one point like there was no possibility, and he lands on. I mean, that's amazing. I think he makes that look too easy, right? Because you jump up, he looks like he's 6 feet in the air. He catches the disc. He comes down wrist first. And then these guys are such athletes, they just pop right back up like that's normal.
Remember that defensive play he made way back when now with the stop the Rumble opportunity and led the points for the Current. So he's had himself a big game defensively and now offensively.
Wow. I could watch that highlight all day.
That's
what
terrific.
An incredible athlete. You know, what a play. That's big, right? Talk about momentum. If there's such a thing as momentum, the DC Current have it. And the fans are pumping them up.
Well, Rumble have turned it over the last 2 times they've had it. In their loss to DC, they had turnoveritis, and they need to take care of the disc right now. That's Anderson. They play it back. It's a layout.
Big.
Wow. What a play by Cranston. And here you go. DC looking for the 2-goal lead. That was unbelievable. Cranston to control it.
That's big, right? They get it here. This is exciting because now they just got to go down and they got to score with this.
Nice catch near side. Digging it out was Marshall.
The Rumble have to dig deep.
Current will call a timeout. They have disc in hand. They want to get their offensive players out there. Tell you what, that D-line has done a terrific job over the last couple of minutes.
They just really turned up the pressure. And again, timeout, middle of the field. They score this. The Rumble are going to have to really do something amazing to bring it back. And we're trying to get a time check right now, but there's not a lot of time left.
I'm guessing, what, 3.5, maybe 4?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's where we are.
DC leading it 20-19. Their defense has stepped up. Some casual play, we'll call it, by New York. They've turned it over a couple of times.
It's tired play, Don.
Yep.
I mean, this is what happens. Again, if you had to pick the team we talked about it at the beginning of the game. One team had to drive up to Boston yesterday and then drive down to DC today. That's not an advantage. All DC had to do was go up to Philly and come back down. So the better rested team, without question.
And you get a cheesesteak after that game too.
Right.
I mean, what's better
Now the
than that,
cheesesteak
right?
is why the game is close.
But by the way, when I come down for the championship game on the 13th, I need a couple of names of pretty good cheese.
Oh, there's only
cheesesteak
one name.
places,
We're going
you
to
know?
take you to Pat's,
No,
okay?
Pat's, that's a deal.
And then I'll give you a pair of Waveborns then, because I like you.
Looking forward to it.
All right, let's see what play they got. I don't think this is going to be a quick strike type thing. I think they want Kulik to break the mark, leave it to Moldenauer or Ryan Todd, and then see if they can get another break off that.
Golick will play it out. Dive attempt over there.
And Ong certainly had to fight for that one.
Oh, Golick going to get the floater. I think the wind helped that a little bit. Started to blow just as that was thrown over there and held it up for him.
I tell you what, the Rumble don't want to lose. They are working hard, and he's got him in a pressure situation.
To the back
This is
edge.
it.
Jump ball.
This is the game.
That's
And he gets it!
Point.
He gets it. That's Markham Schaffner, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, if you're going to pick your superstar for the game, there he is. They threw up a jump ball. They threw up something for desperation, and he goes up over the pack and gets it.
That's a definition of skying after the disc
Yep.
right there.
Big players make big plays at big times. Thank you, Markham Schaffner. Great job.
Schaffner today has been unbelievable. First half the throws, now it's the catch.
Wow. Wow. I mean, it's hard to really say anything after that. It just looked like the Rumble turned up the defense. They had him pinned over there, and then he goes up and gets it. What a play.
So now a 2-goal lead for DC.
And did they say the time?
I haven't heard it yet. Wow. Markham Schaffner, what a performance today.
Well, I mean, I think the good news for the Rumble is that if they can march it down, all they got to do is get one dude. That's the good news. The bad news is they got to march it down against a team that is clearly pumped up and seems to have a re-inspiration in terms of their running ability.
Yeah, they seem physically fit right now. Can Mazer get it going here? Outright. Gillis. Look at that tight defense by Marshall. Oh, they throw up another floater, and that's going to be knocked down. That defense just too strong. It has been all over the field. That was Johnson again. Wow.
It's Delrico Johnson again, and they're going to throw it deep, and Robbie Gillis reads it wrong, and you got Gordon all day. I think it finally caught up to him, right? The fitness finally caught up, and now the DC Current are running away with it.
Gordon timed it beautifully, read the flight, and an easy point. 3-goal lead. They say 27 seconds. I just couldn't pick it up.
2 minutes, 27 seconds. Okay, so now if I'm Coach Q, that timeout didn't work. Now I'm telling these guys, 1 point at a time, go down and score. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left is enough time to come back and win this game, or at least tie this game up. First thing you got to do is go down and score. So I'm putting in my freshest 7. Guys are going to go down there and run, and then I can worry about defense if they score. And for DC, I'm putting in, again, same thing with Coach Mullen, I'm putting in my freshest 7 to try and run to the ground.
They lead by 3 at 22-19. 2:27 left. Rumble fell behind early in this quarter by 2 on top of it. So that's a 5-goal differential. 3 consecutive turnovers offensively by the Rumble. Let's see if they can settle things down. They got to work quickly too. Oh, look at
Wow.
that. Kind of drifted away.
Very unlucky and very lucky at the same time.
Baker able to make that catch.
Because Nalade cut in and then seemed like he didn't know the throw was to him.
Over to Mazer. They're patient with this set. Malade holding. Back to Mr. Anderson. Holding it like he wants to hammer that thing. Then flick it up. Mazer flicks it along into space.
Oh.
And they couldn't toe the line and make the catch, just out of the reach of Rob Baker.
Unfortunately, it looked like that was going to be a nice goal and they're going to be able to turn around. And now they got a minute 55. So this is big. You got to shut them down right now. No easy pass.
Jonathan Neely with some huge D here in the second half. The Todd.
I think for DC, you just want to complete passes. And that's exactly what they didn't do there.
Corey Lee with the interception. The Rumble with some life. Mazer.
But now this is the sense of desperation that they need.
Mazer, did he hop in? No. Had to pull it back out.
They got to score.
And they do. I think when you're that tight and Mazer's got it, you're going to put something positive up on the board. And New York makes it 22-20.
Ooh, 1 minute, 8 seconds. So the game plan here, Don, is here. Actually, here's what I would do. I would roll it out of bound at the 15-yard line. Not the 15, at the 50-yard line, and I would put a double team on, and I would try my best to get the quick turnover. Or the game plan is pull it deep and then just try and play your best D, but then your whole team's got to run 100 yards or 80 yards down there. So I think you got to play kind of high risk, high reward defense right here.
Jonathan Cox, who made the catch for the goal off the pass from Mazer, was bent over. Looked like he's beginning to cramp just momentarily. A lot of those guys bending over trying to catch a breath on both teams. Well, let's see if they can create a quick turnover here.
I mean, they literally, I would say, Don, they have to get a turnover in the first 3 throws, or they're not going to have enough time to get two scores. And they don't even have their defense set yet.
This is Doy. They'll play it back, swing it over right.
They're just eating time off the clock.
2-goal lead, being patient. Ong looking. That was a good break by Moldenhauer. Find some space.
Got 50 seconds. They're going to need to get this D right now. If they want a chance, they got to get it right now.
40 seconds remaining.
And Markham, they force the pass out left. Down under 40 seconds away. DC.
It's the teams at the end of the game, they have to play D on the dump. That's the big thing. You can't let these easy resets.
Right now to Curran in control. Oh, they nearly dropped that one. Only 20 seconds left. They're up by 2, however.
And I think DC's done their job.
Infraction. Keegan will step it up 10 yards or 5 yards in that infraction.
Crowd's pumped up. This is the last 14 seconds. Bravo to the Rumble for the hard-fought game. But the DC Current's going to run away with this.
They lead by 2. Fans stand. They hammer it to the back line and out of play. And the Rumble, can they score 2 in about 12 seconds? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as I think that the choice by Keegan there was unnecessary, it's also irrelevant.
Well, back and forth they went. Neither team has had more than a 3-goal lead, and DC earned that late here in the fourth quarter.
I don't know if they called a foul, or you know what I think they called?
Time will just tick on down.
I think they called a timeout and it ran away. I'm not sure, but either way, it doesn't matter, Don. They weren't doing anything there. And these fans are pumped up, and congratulations to the DC Current. They're going to the playoffs.
They win 22-20 over the New York Rumble. 2 teams that really struggled to find their way in the first couple of weeks of the regular season, and they battled for the final playoff spot. And now you take on the unbeaten Whitecaps. Doesn't get easy.
No.
Not at all.
You know, I said that if one team I think really has a chance to beat the Boston Whitecaps, it's the DC Current, because they have such athletes. The problem is for the DC Current is the Whitecaps just don't seem to make mistakes. You have to force them to make mistakes, and that's going to be the test, and we're going to watch it next week.
Looking forward to it on the 29th of June, 1 o'clock for the first poll in Framingham, Massachusetts, at beautiful Bowditch Field. It's a wonderful facility, and a grass field too, which is interesting. We'll take one break and we'll wrap things up here on MLU Live. Here's your final score. DC Current 22 and the New York Rumble 20.
Defensive. Hey, cross goes over the top.
get that? Did he get that? Amazing.
A good look at the fans going home happy here after a terrific performance by the DC Current. They win 22-20 over the New York Rumble, Jeff. And, well, you mentioned Markham Schaffner, just outstanding today, had that gigantic catch late, broke the back of the Rumble.
Star of the game.
Yep.
I mean, he's shown himself as a superstar every week as it's moved forward, and he's the star of the game this game. And it's really fun to see all the DC Current players out there with all their fans shaking hands and signing autographs, and they earned it today.
They certainly did, in front of a boisterous crowd too. Really exciting. What a day to be amongst the fans
This
to
was
broadcast
fun.
this game. Really was. Let's take one more look now at the matchups for next week's playoffs on the 29th of June on the East Coast and, of course, on the West Coast. It's been decided Washington, D.C. Current playing at the Whitecaps, the home of the Boston Whitecaps at Bowditch. Hopefully you can get there. Tickets on sale immediately, I would imagine.
Tickets
right,
are on sale, 1 o'clock. It might not be at Bowditch, actually. They might
really?
have
That
a
might change
different
it.
feel, but we're still
Okay.
actually working that one out. So we'll keep everybody posted, but it's either at Bowditch or Hermel, I think it's
Okay.
called, in Medford. So
Yeah.
we'll figure that one out.
Hermel,
We'll keep everybody
beautiful,
posted.
two good, very nice facilities.
Yes.
Very nice facilities. Saturday, June 29th, I believe 1 p.m. Down on the West Coast, of course, we got playoff action. Seattle Rainmakers, San Francisco Dogfish will battle. 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time, East Coast time
Yes.
at 4.
Yeah, so you get to watch the East Coast game, then you get to watch the West Coast game, and this is the game to watch. Rainmakers, Dogfish is the game to watch.
Yep, great work. Appreciate it.
No, it's been a fun
All
time,
right.
Don.
Jeff Schneider, Don Boyle, and the entire crew behind. Great work. DC Current with a big fourth quarter, overcoming a 2-goal deficit, and they win 22-20 over the New York Rumble. Goodbye, everybody.